Hello, and welcome to the Rankin Report for Wednesday, September the 18th, 2024. Surprise! You're going to be seeing more of these in the coming days, those of you that are watching, simply because in my studies and in my time with the Lord, I have been getting more things, more messages, excuse me, that I'm actually falling behind in writing them down. So I'm going to be doing more posts each week. I'm going to start with doing 2 a week here and see if that doesn't get me caught up pretty quick here. But thank you for joining me today from the book of Isaiah, Isaiah the prophet, chapter 58. Now, it's going to be a long read, but I'm doing the entire chapter here because, as you're going to see, this is important. Shout it aloud. Do not hold back. Raise your voice like a trumpet. Declare to my people their rebellion and to the descendants of Jacob their sins. For day after day they seek me out, as if they were a nation that does what is right. They seem eager to know my ways, as if they were a nation that does what is right and has not forsaken the commands of its God. They ask me for just decisions and seem eager for God to come near them. Why have we fasted, they say, and you have not seen it? Why have we humbled ourselves, and you have not noticed? Yet in the day of your fasting, you do as you please and exploit all your workers. Your fasting ends in quarreling and strife, and in striking each other with wicked fists. You cannot fast as you do today and expect your voice to be heard on high. Is this the kind of fast I have chosen, only a day, for people to humble themselves? Is it only for bowing one's head like a reed and lying in sackcloth and ashes? Is this what you call a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is this not the kind of fasting I have chosen? To loose the chains of injustice and to untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke? Is it not to share your food with the hungry and to provide the poor wanderer with shelter? When you see the naked, to clothe them, and not to turn away from your own flesh and blood? Then your light will break forth like the dawn, and your healing will quickly appear. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. Then you will call, and the Lord will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, Here am I. If you do away with the yoke of oppression, with the pointing finger and malicious talk, and if you spend yourselves in behalf of the hungry and satisfy the needs of the oppressed, then your light will rise in the darkness, and your night will become like the noonday. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be recalled repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. I'm going to read that again. Your people will rebuild the ancient ruins and will raise up the age-old foundations. You will be called repairer of broken walls, restorer of streets with dwellings. If you keep your feet from breaking the Sabbath and from doing as you please on my holy day, if you call the Sabbath a delight and the Lord's holy day honorable, And if you honor it by not going your own way and not doing as you please or speaking idle words, then you will find your joy in the Lord. And I will cause you to ride in triumph on the heights of the land, and to feast on the inheritance of your father Jacob. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. This is what the Lord, the God of the United States, says. Calling for a fast for the upcoming election is good, but those who consecrate themselves to the fast that I choose do even better. For if you are so devoted to loosing the bonds of wickedness and to break every yoke and chain that the wicked have put upon my two covenant peoples, and remember that I sought Abraham's seed out to be their God long before your fathers sought me out to be your God, then will I see and give you leaders after my own heart, who will act as my people guide them and not place themselves above those who elected them. Then shall this nation return to the covenant your founders made with me. As I have spoken to my covenant people Israel, so I also speak to my other covenant people in America. My mouth speaks to both and does not say different things in the same breath. Pastor Dutch Sheets reports that a 21-day fast has been called for beginning this coming Sunday, September the 22nd, and running through Saturday, October 12th, Yom Kippur, the Jewish Day of Atonement, the highest holy day in the Jewish calendar. In the midst of this, Amanda Grace of Ark of Grace Ministries has called for 3 days of fasting from October 2nd through the 4th. All of this is leading up to the election, asking God to restore President Trump to the presidency and protection for himself and his family. It is good to ask God for these things. Nothing wrong with that at all. But God wants more. And He is telling us to check our motivations, to pour our energies into the spiritual battle against the strongholds that the church, in its laziness and contentment of the last few decades, have allowed to be built, tearing them down and returning to the covenant. It's not business as usual, ladies and gentlemen, anymore. Pray for the Great Awakening, no king but Jesus, independence forever. That's the Rankin Report for Wednesday, almost slipped, Wednesday, September the 18th, 2024. Don't forget to hit the like or share buttons or both. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a great day.